Reapers, before you do anything else, I need you to type your current weight in the comments right now. And don't be shy, because nobody in these comments has met you and nobody knows what you look like. So for all they know, you're a bodybuilder, typing that number ironically. Do it now because we are absolutely coming back to that number before this video ends, and I want receipts. Now let's talk about the donut you inhaled in the break room this morning like it owed you money. That thing was about 300 calories, and you know what it takes to burn 300 calories. 45 minutes of jogging like a raccoon, just opened your car door and you're trying to get away before it asks for your insurance information. 45 minutes for a donut you murdered in 4 bites while scrolling a stranger's vacation photos. That's the trade you keep making, and you never do the math because the math is rude. And here's the part that's gonna personally offend you. You cannot outrun that donut because the math simply does not care about your feelings. But you can outsmart the little committee inside your body that decides where that donut ends up living. Most people treat exercise like a punishment for existing, and if they're not collapsing, they assume it doesn't count. So they sprint like they stole something, and they do interval classes named after natural disasters, and they crawl to their car afterward. And 6 months later, they look exactly the same as day one, which is honestly impressive in the wrong direction. I built something called the Reaper Walk Protocol, and it has nothing to do with turning yourself into a human campfire. It's about hijacking your insulin response like a tiny biological heist film. Give me 12 minutes and I will save you an entire decade of cardio classes you didn't need to suffer through. First, we need to understand why your stomach acts like it has tenant rights. Why does your face slim down in 2 weeks while your stomach fat signs a 10-year lease with an option to renew? It's not because you're lazy. It's a defense system your ancestors installed without asking your permission. Fat cells are not dumb little energy bags sitting around doing nothing because they have receptors, and you can think of them as tiny bouncers standing outside a club deciding who gets to leave. Beta receptors are the friendly bouncers and the ones who see adrenaline coming and just wave it through like it's on the list. Your face and your arms and your chest are covered in these easygoing bouncers, which is exactly why those spots slim down first while your stomach is still setting up camp. Then you've got alpha receptors, and these bouncers do not like you at all. When hormones show up, these guys cross their arms and say, "Not tonight," and lock the exits. Your stomach fat is absolutely infested with these stubborn bouncers because evolution installed them there to protect your organs during a famine that ended roughly 10,000 years ago. Your stomach is still preparing for a famine your great-great-great-great-grandfather worried about. Here's the trap almost everybody accidentally walks into. When you do brutal high-intensity training, you flip your body into full panic mode and you flood yourself with adrenaline and cortisol, like you're being chased by something with teeth in your arms. That adrenaline hits the friendly bouncers and you lose arm fat, and great. But in your stomach, that same adrenaline hits the stubborn bouncers and gets rejected at the velvet rope. And cortisol makes it worse because chronically high cortisol is directly linked to stomach fat storage. So every time you destroy yourself in a class, literally named Inferno or Savage or Apocalypse, you are chemically begging your stomach fat to stay exactly where it is, and you are working incredibly hard to remain exactly the same. That's not a fitness plan. That's a tragedy with a heart rate monitor. So how do we flip these stubborn bouncers from rude to friendly? We move the body without declaring war on it, and we aim for something called the fat burning zone. Picture 2 fuel tanks sitting inside you like a video game character. Tank 1 is a tiny tank of rocket fuel, and that's stored sugar, and your body grabs this for sprinting or heavy lifting because it burns fast and loud and slightly dramatic. Tank 2 is a massive oil tanker that could probably be seen from space, and that's your body fat, and your body prefers pulling from this tank for slow, steady, boring tasks that last a while. A giant review of over 50 studies already settled this argument for us, and high-intensity cardio burns mostly sugar, while low-intensity movement burns mostly fat. Your body does not care about how impressive your workout looks on camera because it cares about efficiency, the same way your grandmother cares about coupons. Sprint, and you mostly burn the sandwich from lunch. Walk, and you actually start burning the fat, sitting on your hips like unwanted house guests. This is the zone 2 hack, and walking keeps your heart rate low enough that you could still argue with your sibling about who ate the last slice of pizza the entire time. In this zone, cortisol stays calm, and those stubborn stomach bouncers never even get the memo to lock the doors. while fat burning just quietly stays cranked up the whole walk, like a crock pot nobody's paying attention to? The answer you probably already guessed is walking. But before you roll your eyes and tell me you already walked from the couch to the fridge and back, listen closely, because casually shuffling to get a snack is not going to build you a six-pack. If it did, every parent doing laps around the living room chasing a toddler at 7 a.m. would be shredded beyond belief. To actually use this for fat loss, you need an actual system. But first, we're murdering a myth that's been holding you hostage. I can already hear the comment loading up as we speak. Running burns way more calories than walking, and it's just math, bro. Sure, on paper, running wins because a 30-minute run torches around 350 calories, while a 30-minute walk gets you around 150. But you're not a spreadsheet with legs. You are a hormone-driven creature ruled by a tiny gremlin hormone called ghrelin. And this is the compensation trap. When you do intense exercise, your body senses a massive energy hole and absolutely panics like it just noticed the gas tank is on empty in the desert. So you go for that run and you burn 350 calories and strut around like a war hero. An hour later, you're suddenly starving in a way that feels almost personal, and you grab a bagel or throw an extra scoop of rice on your plate at dinner because apparently you earned it. That bagel alone is around 400 calories. So congratulations. You suffered through 30 minutes of misery just to land yourself in a 50-calorie surplus. And that's like robbing a bank and walking out with less money than you walked in with. And it gets worse because intense cardio wrecks your energy for the rest of the day. After the run, you collapse onto the couch like a marionette with its strings cut, and you fidget less, and you take the elevator instead of the stairs. Your body quietly saves energy everywhere else to make up for what you just burned, like it's balancing a checkbook behind your back. Walking does the opposite because it's self-regulating, and it doesn't spike your hunger gremlin, and it doesn't nuke your energy for the day. You can walk for an hour and burn 300 calories of actual fat, and your appetite barely notices you did anything, and you don't feel like you earned a trophy or a milkshake. Walk for an hour daily, and that's 300 calories. Do it 7 days a week, and that's 2,100 calories gone, which is nearly 2/3 of a pound of pure fat weekly without a single dramatic sweat angel on the gym floor. Over a year, that's over 31 pounds. The person sprinting quits after 3 weeks because their knees filed a formal complaint, while the person walking wins because they never had a reason to stop in the first place. Okay, so walking wins. But how do you structure it for actual speed instead of just wandering aimlessly like you're looking for your car in a parking garage? Most people mess this up by saving one giant 2-hour walk for the end of the day, like it's homework they're avoiding. Don't do that. We're using something called insulin stacking because fat loss basically shuts down. While insulin is high, and insulin is a storage hormone, every time you eat it, spikes and locks that energy away, like a tiny overprotective landlord. And we want to flip your body back into burn mode as fast as possible after every single meal. Step 1 is the after-meal trigger. Research on blood sugar control found that walking for just 10 minutes immediately after eating dramatically improves how your body handles that meal compared to walking at some random unrelated time. So here's your rule: 3 10-minute walks a day. One right after breakfast, and one right after lunch, and one right after dinner, and that's 30 total minutes and around 3,000 steps. You didn't even need real shoes for this, because slides count and slides always count. You're blunting the insulin spike from every meal and forcing your body to actually use that food instead of mailing it directly to your stomach. Step 2 is what I call the fidget advantage, and this covers every calorie you burn just existing. Pacing and standing and bouncing your leg through a meeting that could have been an email. The real difference between naturally lean people and everyone else usually isn't the gym at all, because it's this invisible daily movement most people never notice, and the gap can be worth up to 2,000 calories a day, which is basically a free meal you're leaving on the table. We're turning you into someone who physically cannot sit still. And here are 3 lazy habits that hand you 2,000 free steps without you even realizing you're exercising. Habit 1 is stop circling the parking lot like a shark hunting for the closest spot, and park at the very back, like you're trying to avoid your car getting a door ding, because you save time and add around 400 steps round trip. Habit 2 is never sit during a phone call again as long as you live, because the second it rings, you stand up and pace the room like a villain finalizing a plan, and you'll rack up around 1,000 steps during a single 10-minute call about absolutely nothing important. Habit 3 is kill the elevator, unless you're heading to the 40th floor or carrying furniture, because stair climbing burns calories about 3 times faster than flat walking. Stack the after-meal walks with these lazy habits, and you'll hit 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day almost by accident. like you tripped into good health. Now, I know some of you are impatient and you want visible results in 12 weeks, not 12 months. If you're willing to put in slightly more effort, meet the actual final boss of fat loss, and that's incline walking. Flat walking is solid, but incline walking is a completely different animal wearing a leather jacket. Walking on a steep incline roughly doubles the demand on your body without destroying your joints the way running does, and it forces your glutes and hamstrings to fight gravity the entire time like they personally offended it. There's a viral treadmill setup built around 12 incline, 3 speed for 30 minutes, and it went viral because it actually works, and not because someone's cousin made it up. It burns close to what jogging burns, while keeping you safely inside that fat burning zone the entire time. But here's a warning. I see people botch constantly. Do not grip the handrails like you're holding on for dear life, because the second you grab those rails and lean back, you're cheating, and you know it. You're shifting the load from your legs to your arms and quietly turning a hard incline walk into a lazy mall stroll. So let your arms swing freely like you have somewhere important to be. If you can't do the steep incline without holding on, drop it down until you actually can, because form matters more than the flashy number on the screen. Add 2 or 3 of these sessions weekly on top of your daily walking, and your results go absolutely vertical. Now we need to have an uncomfortable conversation. You can walk to another state and back, and you can incline walk until your calves file for early retirement. But if you're still eating like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet on your birthday every single day, none of this saves you. Remember that donut from the beginning? It takes you 45 minutes to walk off, and it takes you about 30 seconds to eat a spoonful of peanut butter worth the same calories while standing over the sink like a raccoon yourself. A fancy coffee shop drink with a name longer than a sentence can run 500 calories, and that's an hour and a half of walking undone in 5 minutes flat, while you were just trying to be nice to yourself. You cannot outwalk a bad plate no matter how determined you are, so stop using your steps as a coupon for extra food. Telling yourself you walked 10,000 steps so you've earned that late-night pizza is exactly how people stay stuck in the same loop for years. Use your food choices to create the actual deficit, and use walking to protect your metabolism and speed everything along. Think of your diet as the engine and walking as the turbo strapped onto the side of it, and the turbo makes things faster, but with an empty tank, you're going absolutely nowhere, no matter how shiny the turbo is. Aim for a modest deficit, somewhere around 300 to 500 calories, under maintenance, and pair that with the Reaper Walk protocol, and stubborn fat runs out of places to hide, like it forgot its own address. Let's put this into a plan you can actually follow without quitting by Thursday. Weeks 1 through 4 are the warm-up, and don't chase 10,000 steps yet. Just find your current daily average and add 2,000 to it, and focus entirely on building the after-meal walk habit until it feels boring instead of impressive. Weeks 5 through 8 are the stack, and now we turn the heat up. Hit a strict 8,000 steps daily, no matter the weather and no matter your excuses, and start layering in the lazy habits from earlier like a menace. Weeks 9 through 12 are the shred, and this is full send mode. You're hitting 10 to 12,000 steps daily and adding 2 incline sessions a week. And by this point, people around you will start asking what you're secretly doing differently, and you get to just smile mysteriously like you joined a cult that actually works. We live in a culture that insists results only come from suffering, and that if you're not gasping face down on a gym floor, you're not trying hard enough. That's a lie built to sell you more burnout and more branded water bottles. The most effective plan is almost always the one you can actually sustain without hating your own life. Walking is the oldest movement humans have, and it clears your head and it lowers your stress, and yes, it quietly shreds stomach fat better than most dramatic workouts ever will. So here's my challenge. Forget the 12-week picture for a second and just commit to the next 7 days. Track your steps and add the 3 after-meal walks, and that's the entire assignment, and nobody's asking you to run from anything. Now, Reapers, remember that number you dropped in the comments at the very beginning. I want you to set a calendar reminder for 4 weeks from today, and come back to this exact video and comment your new number right underneath your old one, so everybody can watch the receipts stack up in real time. No deleting the old comment, and no quietly disappearing if it doesn't move yet, because we're doing this in public and accountability works better with an audience. Walking is only half of this equation, and nutrition is the other half, and I've got a video coming on exactly what to eat to speed this along. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and so I can watch you turn into the mysterious cult member from earlier. Reap what you sow.